Very bad group stage then for La Liga sides. Atleti out, Sevilla out, and Barcelona out as well. We kind of knew this was going to happen, despite Gav blabbering on yesterday that Inter were going to drop the ball and it was all going to go wrong. Inter got it done. 4-0 against Viktoria Pilsen, so it didn't matter what Barca did against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich winning by 3-0. So given that, Craig, given that Barcelona knew exactly what had happened going into the clash at the Camp Nou, can you be too harsh on them in their performance against Bayern? Because
yes. Well, I tell you why. They're trying to save face.
Yeah, but how are you going to save face? It doesn't matter, does it? You're going to beat Bayern. Doesn't make any difference, does it?
You're trying to save face. You were embarrassed in the Clásico. You're under a bit of pressure. You've got some injuries, I grant that, at the back. But that's not a real excuse, because you did sign Bellerin and you did sign Alonso. Strange, but you did. And you're now looking at making a mark. You're now looking at... You've got a big crowd there. Yes, the result went as we thought in the San Siro, but you still got to go out there, perform, show that you're on the front foot and save face and show that you can reverse a result from early on in the group where you played OK actually in the first half, but Lewandowski missed some chances in Munich. Let's go out there and put a positive result. Well, I'm telling you now, right? As a player, you want to go out, you don't want to be... As a player, you go out, you don't want to get embarrassed. And trust me, some of the stuff they did, particularly early on, was embarrassing. Bayern Munich won this game and never, ever, ever got out of second gear. Never got out of second gear. And I said to you at the weekend, Barcelona are OK until teams attack them. And we talked at the start of the season, all these attacking players, all these signings, was it going to be enough to mask their Achilles heel? And we have a clear answer. We have a clear answer. You know, the Clásico and the Champions League, where the real big tests are. And I know there was no Arujo, and I know there was no Christensen, but they were found wanting. Found absolutely wanting.
They really were, Ali, and Bayern didn't really have to do much to win this game.
No, so when you think about what the mindset would be for Barcelona coming into this match, knowing full well that they were out, I understand that there is nothing in play. I obviously, them knowing that they're not going to advance in the competition, sure, nothing to gain. But there's also nothing to lose. And you're also playing at home against Bayern Munich, 85,000 people who, despite the fact that you've already been eliminated of the competition, they packed that stadium and they were ready to support you. And then you simply laid an egg. A flat performance. Yet another flat performance when they're playing against elite competition. So to your point, Dan, regarding what Bayern Munich needed to do, or basically what they didn't need to do in order to beat Barcelona today, for the first couple of goals, for the first one, they complete one pass. So, high line, no pressure on the ball, they complete one pass, Sadio Mane gets in behind Bellerin, he scores 1-0. Maybe there's going to be a response from Barcelona. Yeah, good luck with that. Second goal, two passes, Bayern Munich. It's not like they were dominating the possession and then they were creating opportunities just because of how good they were with the ball, Bayern Munich. No. They force a turnover, two passes, they're in behind, they're scoring a goal, 2-0. And after that, it was game, set, match. And while we think of Barcelona as an attacking team, what did they create today? What opportunities did Ulreich have to come up with a save? None of it. So you have issues defending that Craig just mentioned, and then you have issues in creativity in the attack, actually creating opportunities. And to the point that Craig was making, Bayern Munich today was almost a training session sort of pace with which they play, which then displaced, which I think is the most concerning issue for Barcelona, that they're nowhere near the elite level in Europe. Nowhere near. Not advancing is one thing, but the fact that they're nowhere near competing with teams like Bayern Munich, I think is even worse. And I think in a bigger picture we have to ask, has there been improvement? Because the players have changed, right? The manager has changed. And we go back to what it was, Champions League last year. You know how many points they got in the Champions League group stage? 7 points. How many do they have this year? 4 points. If they beat Viktoria Pilsen, 7 points. So where is the palpable improvement? Where is something that you can tangibly say, this team is better now than what they were then? The results against elite competition would suggest they're not anywhere near better than what they need to be.
But they signed one of the world's best strikers. They signed one of the best wide players in Europe, if not the world, and Rafinha, who others wanted. They signed Kessie from AC Milan, who's a terrific player, but has had limited game time. I know he played today. They signed Jules Koundé, amongst others, who was vaunted by a lot of clubs, Chelsea included. So they have signed, on the face of it, some quality players. Now I throw in Alonso and Bellerin at the bottom, who played with the kind of squad players, but they beefed up that squad pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you're saying today about, or tonight, who cares? And, you know, they've seen the result. I'll tell you who cares. Xavi cares, because he's a man under pressure. He is a man under pressure. And I'm not suggesting he's going to get the sack or anything, but the bigger teams that they play and the more elite competitions they play and the more defeats and bad results they get, the more questions. And that's what we said at the start of the season. You sign the players, it asks the question. And so far, he's not had the answers.
Go on, Frank.
I think if we consider, I go back to your question, Dan, when you started the subject of Barcelona. If you consider that Barcelona can be, you know, disappointed because they already know the result about Inter, what about the Germans? The Germans were already qualified. Therefore, you know, why they played that way and why they were so superior to Barcelona. You know, it's a frame of mind where you have to be. And as the guy said, and Ali especially, you play in front of the full crowd, you have to produce and do better. I really think we got carried away by the fact that Barcelona played a little bit better at the end of the season, that they signed some players, and we needed something better from them because we need a Clásico, we need something strong in La Liga. And so we thought that Barcelona were back to where they are still very far away from who they were and how they were producing their games and their results. I remember, and I played against Barcelona, when Barcelona were signing players, we are talking about Samuel Eto'o, we are talking about Thierry Henry, Rivaldo, big worldwide players. They signed good players, as Craig mentioned, but they're not worldwide players.
Oh, Lewandowski's a worldwide player, Frank, isn't he? I think that's fair. Lewandowski's a proper player. He's a worldwide player.
Yeah, but that's the same thing. Yeah, he is, but it's the same thing. A striker needs to be served. So if you have Haaland and Manchester City and you have Gundogan, Silva, Cancelo, De Bruyne, who can serve him, yeah, you can score goals. Give the same players and put Lewandowski up front, he will score many goals. That's not the case for Barcelona. I saw it today. I saw Dembele fighting with Davies, and it was very interesting to see. But when he was taking on Davies, he was making stupid passes or silly passes and easy ones, and he couldn't do it. So it's different. It's different class, different level. Barcelona is not the Barcelona we used to know. That's for sure.
So where are we off the pitch, Gab? For example, January, they can't spend any money. Next summer, are they going to be able to spend money once again? Or how much have they put themselves in a hole, gambling on a good run this campaign and getting knocked out so early in the Champions League?
I'm tempted to make a joke and say he'll just find more levers to pull, but I think this is so bad that I don't even want to do that. So the reality is, reportedly, they had budgeted for quarterfinals of the Champions League. How much money they're going to lose? I tweeted this out. The whole regular.